This is R2D Tech, and this week's video is all about the new iOS 14.5 that just got dropped, so stay tuned. So even though this isn't one of the major updates, which normally comes on an integer like 13, 14, 15, it's still got some pretty significant changes to it, which I thought we'd address. The first change is very well suited to the current sort of COVID climate, which is that you can now unlock your iPhone using your Apple Watch if you have one. This might sound like a bit of a gimmick, and definitely in non-COVID times it probably would have been, but now that we're all wearing face masks, Face ID isn't really working so well. So having this feature where you can just unlock or lock your iPhone with your watch is actually pretty useful. Next up, of course, is the Apple AirTags, which just got released, and these are now supported on iOS 14.5 as well. Yes, Tile have done a similar product for many years now, but I personally think the Apple AirTags have the potential to be much bigger just because there's so many more iPhone users out there than people using the Tile app, which means it's a lot easier to locate something to a much higher degree of accuracy if you lose it out in public. There's actually a few other reasons why I think the new Apple AirTags are slightly better than what Tile offered, but that's a whole video unto itself. Moving on, Apple have always been about privacy, or so they say, and this latest update adds to that quite significantly. Now you should be able to deny permissions to any of your applications to collect your data if you want to do that, which of course has stirred the pot quite a lot between Apple and Facebook, since that's Facebook's whole business model, collecting data, targeted advertisements, that sort of thing. I'd be really interested to see how this plays out. I highly doubt Facebook are going to be pulling their apps off the App Store, but they're going to have to do something to their business model to generate some profit. The next change is definitely my favorite by far, and I've been waiting for this for so long now, and that's that you can now choose your default music streaming app. I definitely think it's long overdue, but what that does mean is that when you ask Siri to play a song, it can now play it on any app of your choice, and once you've selected it once, it will stick to that app unless you change it. Another plus side, I guess, is that I think if you have a HomePod, it should be able to play on the app of your choice now when you give it a command, instead of just being able to play on Apple Music. I'll do a quick demo on my iPhone just to prove that it does work. Play Hammer to Fall on Spotify. So there you go, it does work, and thank you, Apple. Now on to the next feature, which is on the Maps app. So they've sort of done what Google have done for a long time, and is also a feature on Waze, which is where if you're in an accident or something, you can report it on the Apple Maps app, and it will notify everyone else who's also using Apple Maps. And other things like traffic will be shared between people using Apple Maps. So it's a lot more dynamic now, much like Google Maps have been doing for a long time. This of course is great, and it brings Apple's Maps app one step closer to Google Maps, although I still personally think that Google Maps is the way to go. There are some other updates which we won't get onto in this video, but the last one, which I thought I'd throw in as a bit of a fun one, is that they've added a few new emojis. So if that's of interest to you, then there you go. That's it for this week. If you enjoyed the video, then please leave a thumbs up. And if you want to see more content like this in the future, then definitely smash that subscribe button and notification bell below.